making gains on Joe Biden in Georgia. The state's hand count is scheduled to wrap up at midnight tonight. It's produced at least 3 batches of previously missing ballots, which have added to the president's vote tally. But the president and other Republicans in the state are now turning their wrath on Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger for the way in which he's conducted the recount. Fox News correspondent Matt Finn is in Atlanta and has more for us. Matt?
Lou, Georgia's Secretary of State's office insists that all 159 counties here in the state are on track to submit their newly recounted numbers by the 11:59 p.m. deadline tonight as a part of the statewide audit. Nearly every ballot here has been looked over again by an audit team, according to the Secretary of State's office. And once the state certifies its vote, which it's set to do on Friday, the Trump campaign can then ask for a recount here in this state. Now, Joe Biden's lead here in Georgia dropped from about 15,000 votes to 12,000 votes after thousands of uncounted ballots were discovered during the ongoing audit. 4 counties had failed to count more than 5,000 votes. Biden's lead shrank, but not enough to change the outcome of the race. Georgia's Secretary of State's office says the discrepancies were human error. In Floyd County, the Secretary of State asked for the resignation of the elections director. The uncounted ballots fueled more allegations of misconduct, even from the president, tweeting earlier today, quote, "The Georgia recount is a joke and is being done under protest. Even though thousands of fraudulent votes have been found, the real number is in matching signatures. Governor must open up the unconstitutional consent decree and call in the legislature." Georgia's Secretary of State says the state has a multi-step signature validation system, and the Georgia audit actually helped the president's number here in this state. Here's the Secretary of State's office responding to the president's tweet.
We're going to continue to follow the law and continue to follow our processes. And the irony of this, saying fraudulent votes have been found, he has gained in the finding of those votes. So the system is working the way it's intended.
Earlier today, there was a tweet online that got a lot of attention saying that there were 9,000 votes in DeKalb County that were erroneously given to Joe Biden. A short while ago, the CEO of that county said that that tweet is unsubstantiated. Lou.
Trump fires election security official who contradicted himself. Donald Trump says he has fired a top election official who contradicted the U.S. president's claim of voter fraud. President Trump said he had terminated Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA Chief Krebs, for his highly inaccurate remarks on vote integrity. Mr. Trump has refused to concede the U.S. election and has made election officials said the vote was the most. Mr. Krebs is the latest official to be dismissed by the U.S. president following his. I think I'm going to leave that one where it is.
So on a comprehensive basis, there's so many irregularities, not just limited to one area. It's limited. I mean, it goes to multiple areas. In other words, are the ballots being gotten in on time, and are they counted accurately? Are they legally counted? Do we see we're harvesting of mail-in ballots? There's so many different areas, and from the beginning to the end, this entire process needs to be reviewed, not just one area. But that's interesting. Here's what's even more interesting. How can one county take a week to count its ballots, but the whole state of California can count theirs within 24 hours? Something's just not right about that.
And what's the population of your state, Vernon?
My state is about 13 million people, but that one county, let's say one county.
Almost 40 million in California, right?
Right, 40 million in California. And one county, not my state, but just one county, Fulton County, which has about 800,000 registered voters. How can 40 million be counted and 800,000 can't be counted within 24 hours?
And Fulton County typically leans, Fulton County typically leans which way, and what major city is in
Democrat.
Fulton?
The city of Atlanta itself, it leans Democrat. Yep. And so even in neighboring county, DeKalb County, it took several days for it, and that's my home county, probably one of the more populous counties, Gwinnett County, one of the more populous counties. Why weren't all of those counties counted within 24 hours? And all these ballots coming in from different places, how did that happen? who really oversaw that? What are the true facts about those ballots? Where did they come from? Why were they? Did they get there on time to be counted, or could someone have just made a decision at the local election office? Well, we're going to count them regardless. That's the whole process. There's no oversight in these elections, and we don't fix this and fix it now. You're going to see more stuff than just happening where people want to just come in and register and leave. They're not going to come in and leave. They're just going to have an address, contact the Secretary of State's office and get a ballot, and they're going to register and they'll vote. Now, if nobody else votes in that election and they voted for that same person's address or that same individual, then it's going to go counted. Nobody will even know what happened. So this thing is
Yeah.
this. The good thing about this, it really exposed election fraud.
Yeah.
And we're not a third world country.
Well, and I know that most of the major media outlets yesterday called your state for former Vice President Joe Biden. We here at Real American, One American News are not going to do that until every legal vote is counted, and we know that the count is fair and just. So Georgia, still in the middle column. We're not giving it either way. We'll see how it all pans out. Vernon Jones, thank you so much, man, for sticking to your convictions and speaking up and standing up for the president and for a fair election. We appreciate it.
The military has been arresting deep state operatives that have been pushing election ballot fraud operations and renewed scamdemic lockdowns. The deep state operatives have been bribed and aided by the Chinese Communist Party CCP, as has the Biden crime family been bribed to do the state's will. However, people are reporting that the CCP is no longer the issue. Apparently, Donald Trump dealt with them some time ago. Military operations and arrests behind the scenes would be continuing as we a tidal wave of exposure. This was November 14th. Deep state swamp crimes against we the people would be incoming. Over the last 2 days, there has been an explosion in military air traffic. The current military operations that included almost 1,000 military aircraft wheels up flying since Monday the 16th of November after vote-changing Dominion servers were retrieved from Frankfurt last Saturday, November the 14th. All right, you guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for your support to us here. To support us here, go to PayPal at themullings@gmail.com. For those of you with any of the GSA bonds to set off matters, such as child support cases, mortgages, foreclosures, tickets, citations, utilities, auto loans, student loans, and warrants. And for those of you having to see an agent doing business, parole officer, as well as those of you in for non-violent offenses, you can email us for the GSA bond templates to set off matters, as well as the 1099 OID to get back the finances they claimed you owed. I want to pray. Heavenly Father God, we pray. I want to put a hedge of protection around all that is good globally and the ones that are not so good. I want to put a hedge of protection around Donald Trump, the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines, and all the good people helping us. No corrupted ones. Deal with them, God. All right, now, attention, Office of International Criminal World Court, the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines, Donald Trump. Jay Clayton doing business as Securities and Exchange Commissioner. Joseph Otting doing business as the head for the Office of Comptroller of Currency. Also, Louis DeJoy doing business as Postmaster General. Also, the Federal Trade Commission Clearinghouse Department heads and the Antitrust Department heads. Also, the Fraud Department, the Federal Bureau of Investigations heads, Interpol, the Universal Postal Union agents, and all that is good globally. I come to you in good faith in one's proper person as a living flesh and blood, sentient being, Suri Juris Suri, heir to the world's vast estate, Reubenite tribe chief, American Indian, allodial title Moorish American national, Rubus red rose, angel in Latin, asexual sea plant. Holding the highest diplomatic office, AA222141, and one's private number 449599344. As tax immune, tax exempt. Go now quickly speak to Pamela Monroe Ellis, doing business as Secretary General, also auditor for this territory known as Jamaica. Find out if, well, I guess everything stands as law, truth, fact, unrebutted, as notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to agent, and to all heirs and assigns. Did she contact Mark Barnett today? If so, speak to Mark Barnett. Remind him of the 9 billion international bills of exchange served to him that he's kept, and have him now use that to remedy all matters on the ground. Speak to the trespass agent that trespassed on the domicile today, and have him, dealt with properly, for interfering with the elder on the property on the domicile here today. Also, so remedy all matters as stated to you prior. Also, as you know, we wrote to Jeffrey and a bunch of the heads at the FCC. Speak to them as well to see to it that Google and YouTube are back in order. As you know, our emails were affected the past couple of days, and we were having difficulty sending to the FBI and Interpol. And to speak to Mr. Moore doing business, Mr. Bertel Moore doing business as mayor in this territory, and send to him all that we've served to them prior. And also the state head, I think his name is, there's a state head here, you guys, Homer, I want to say Mr. Homer, speak to him as well and send everything off to him as well. All the do not detain affidavit, the IRS status correction, the cease and desist order, as well as one's authenticated birth certificates, as well as the common law, the 1776 common law copyright, the hold harmless and indemnity agreement, right? And all the other documents that we have in play that we've served globally, internationally, the proof of life, evidence for life, and that we've served internationally, right? So send that to them now and have the matter remedied this night. Also find the 6 women that were involved in that beating recently of that young girl. Were those 6 women drugged? And if so, by whom, by what? What were they drinking? What were they exposed to? Because someone reported a situation to us earlier whereby these 6 women attacked this young woman at this party, and then all of a sudden agents here were trying to do a lockdown of parties. So go and see who's behind that, who's responsible for that, and then deal with the women properly. Also deal with the agents involved in the extortion fees on the 2 taxi drivers. One was given a $50,000 fee for having his private automobile conveyance stolen by these private mercenaries doing business as peace officers who have taken an oath, who took an oath to the Constitution. Go now and round up those agents, as well as the other agents that attacked Mr. Kenneth and Mr. Allen, and gave him a whole host of tickets and citations, knowing that he only makes $1 per $1, you guys. It's $1 that they make. Oh Lord. Oh boy, each person in the taxi pays $1 usually to go into town, so it's not a whole lot that they make here. So when you're giving out thousands and thousands in tickets and citations to people who don't have a job, it's difficult to watch. And that particular entity that they had served it to was one of the few people that actually gets the people to work at all hours of the night. He's been really faithful, and a lot of people look up to him, right? And it turned out the people had to beg the agents to leave his automobile conveyance alone. So go and find those agents and round them up for treason and genocide this night, and then use the Insurrection Act if necessary, right, to get rid of the treasonous agents on this territory, right? And then if all stands now that's served publicly to said agents, as you know, we had to go to Facebook because the emails weren't allowing, Google wasn't allowing the emails to go through. So we had to put everything on Facebook too. So go now and see to it that you round up Pamela Monroe Ellis for said treason and genocide on the masses. And then you have to find out who the chemtrail agents are here. As you know, we saw quite a few of them in the territory today and yesterday. So go and round them up this night for treason, fraud, and genocide, right? In this common law that we're in currently. Right, in this new republic. Thank you in advance for your speedy response to that matter, and use the 9 billion international bills of exchange to remedy the roads in 3 places: Roaring River, the road going up to Bluefields Beach, and also this territory as well too, across the Savlamar area in Westmoreland. Have Mark Barnett use it for that to remedy the roads, to fix them up a little bit more than what we can, because we don't have the equipment to do the asphalt part of it. And then the drainage. Now we noticed today that one of the entities that they had hired to clean, I guess was pick up the debris and the plastic bottles, was actually throwing them in the river. Can you go and find him and stop him from doing that job? Can you get someone else to do that job? And then they've got to clean up the gutters properly. I know that they've taken out a lot of the debris, but the roads are not built properly, so they've got to fix that up. I'll see if I can research some more about how to. I don't know if it's a bridge that they have to build over these roads, because the drainage is really poor and a lot of the drainage needs to be cleaned out properly. So go now and see if you can get the proper people in there to do that in the meantime, in between time, and use the 9 billion that we've served. Also, Stephen Mnuchin, help them out. Use the other 9 billion we served to you to assist them with the infrastructure here too, in the meantime, in between time, and remedy all the matters for us. In addition to the 2 automobile conveyances parked out our front, one's domicile, remove them this night. Yeah, they can go in front of where they're supposed to be. They're not supposed to be over here. So we can use our walkway, because we cannot walk through the walkway when they're blocking it. So have them removed immediately. Thank you in advance for your speedy response to this matter. By Noble, Honorable Ange, L, Unity, Alpha L. And I just want to say a huge thank you for all that you've implemented so far. We wanted to put on this, this video. There's a whole bunch of people, you guys, around the globe prior to the election that have been sharing their experiences with Donald Trump and how amazing he has been to provide them with the services that they needed for their dairy farms, their their agriculture farms, all of the types of businesses that these people had in place, the harm that they were subjected to under Obama and Biden, and how Donald Trump rose to the occasion in more ways than one when they had hurricanes and different things that they were subjected to. We wanted to put that out here too. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do that at some point. But thank you, Donald Trump, and all the international authorities that we write to on the regular for being gracious enough to implement all the affidavits we've put forth here, both privately and publicly. And we just want to say thank you. Thank you in advance for your speedy response to this matter. By Noble, Honorable Ange, L, Unity, Alpha L, Reubenite Tribe Chief, American Indian, Allodial Title Moorish American National, UCC 1-308, without recourse, all rights reserved. I stand by the Book of Ruth, by my deceased Oregon harvested husband and myself, Jackson. No, 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 kota korolata, kanenai te ki. Nena na kata kororo te kira lata kanano. Nena na kata kororo te kira e te karara e te kanano. Nena na kata karena te kororo te kira lata kananai. E te karana te kororo te korona, and deal with Pamela Monroe Ellis properly. Because it seems as if she sent that private agent, that third-party interloper, to the said domicile today. Speak to her now. Speak to her now. Speak to her now, and have her removed from office this night. And then keep the ones in that are, I don't even know, I don't see anyone that no, share earlier. I don't see who's honorable here right now. I can't see who is. No, tequila takananaitaka. Nina nakatakarochukanataka. Nina nakatakarochukanataka. So do what you're doing quickly, and get everything implemented so that people can have access to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, through love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, and equality. Now, those of you writing to us about doing trusts and stuff, and we take the time to write back to you and to tell you our experiences too. We don't do that because we hate you. We do that because we actually care about the people too, right? So when we're being subjected to things that have nothing to do with us, because we didn't have to take the time to write back to you. You see what I'm saying? Only people that care about people take the time to write back, to share laws with people that they can use. So if, yeah, when we see stuff like that, people talking crap, we just walk away and leave them alone to their own devices, eh? So just think about what you're doing. That's all we're saying. And those of you who are Moors, claim your Moorish American identification cards. Go to rvbaypublications.com. And if and when you find out you're American Indian, you can write back to us here. You could do the SS4, you can do the SS5, the SF181, and a whole host of stuff that the powers that be have shared with us as well too, man. And do not let people dog you for waking up along the road. So if you know that you're more and then you eventually find out you're American Indian, you claim both statuses, right? One is your nationality and then your ethnicity. One goes with the father, one goes with the mother, right? Because it's, father, mother, son, a mother, child, right? Like, share, subscribe, you guys. Have yourself a great day. And thank you to each and every one of you in the comment section. Yes, we just want to say thank you to the powers that be for remedying some situations. We're still having some difficulties with the subscriptions on YouTube, so it's fluctuating from 7,000. It was 7,010, then it went to 7,000 back and forth. So international authorities go and remedy that situation as well. And thank you. Have a great day, you guys.